Hello, everyone. I've got David Duckworth here with me, Chief Administrative Officer for the city. Oki, Dada Nastada, Ambawastich, Tanse, and good morning to all of you. Today, we are going into day 7 of recognizing your efforts at using less water in your homes and at work. Because you have been so committed to conserving water, we remain in a pretty stable place in terms of our water supply. Preliminary numbers show us that water use yesterday was 480 million liters, which is up slightly from the day before, but it's at the threshold that we want to try to maintain. It's also down 100 million liters from our average at this time of year. Now, we heard yesterday that it will be likely mid next week when we have an update on how the repairs, the flushing, and the testing of the repairs to the feeder main have gone. Until that point, we are not quite out of the woods yet. As we heard yesterday at 2 p.m. at the Emergency Operations Center, there are 3 main stages that remain in terms of the water restoration plan. Firstly, we need to install and weld the replacement pipe. That pipe was sent to site yesterday, and the installation is going to take approximately 2 days. Then we'll need to fill and flush the full feeder main, which, given the size of this pipe, will probably take about 3 days. That process is going to remove any sediment from the pipe, and it'll get us ready to return the flow from the Bear's Paw treatment plant. The last step is preparing to have the water flowing again to our reservoirs or our tanks that exist underground in various communities. This is going to take about 2 days, and that includes water quality testing. Once those steps are complete, we will get an update to you, and we will also find out what you and I might need to keep doing until we get to a more normal place of water flowing from both our treatment plants. So what do we need to do together while we wait for repair and restoration? I'm having conversations with a lot of neighbors and friends about what they've been doing to save water. Some of you are making low prep meals like sandwiches, and some of you are barbecuing to cut down on the number of dishes you need to use. Some of you are doing things like using your leftover pasta water for your garden. And I can tell you we've got a bit of a competition going on in my office where people are talking about using rubber spatulas to scrape their plates instead of rinsing. And we have folks who are using the bucket and cup method to do replacement showers and especially hair washing. So all of you are doing an exceptional job. Every day, your collective actions are saving approximately 50 Olympic-sized swimming pools full of water. And this is a pretty big deal when we consider that the Calgary Fire Department needs to be able to effectively respond to any emergencies that might occur. So please keep up the really great work that you're doing. And the biggest thing to remember here is that time is something we need to make sure that our water supply returns safely and consistently. I know it's tough to watch your clothes pile up, and I know it's tough to look in the mirror sometimes and see some pretty sad, droopy hair, but it's critical. You and I and all the people and the pets and the plants that we love so much need water to survive. It is absolutely our source of life, and that's worth the sacrifices that all of you are making. Everything you're doing matters, and it matters for all of us. So yes, we will have more days of cutting water use, and yes, we will have a clean and safe water supply into the future because we are taking these steps right now. And why am I so confident that we can do this? It's because you have been doing this consistently. In 2003, we were using about 518 liters of water per capita per day. And now, in 2023, 20 years later, we're down to 359. So that means we've seen a 30% reduction in water use. So Calgary, I know you understand how to reduce water use to make sure that we all have a good and safe water supply. Now let's remember, we can't afford to watch our water consumption creep up over the next critical days of repair and testing. So please keep saving water, and we'll be in a better place next week. And some of you have said, I don't get it. I don't live in Bowness. How does this possibly affect me? Well, let me explain again. This is a water feeder main that has broken. Your average pipe, your water main is about the size of a pizza. This pipe is so big you can drive a vehicle through it. You have all seen the images. This is a very big piece of infrastructure. It is the one that was providing water to our underground network of reservoirs, or tanks sometimes we call them. And now you may think, what does that actually mean to me? I can't see it. I want you to think about the roads that you drive on every day. Then I want you to take that road network and imagine that it's underground. That's the kind of network of pipes that we have that are delivering water throughout our city. Now let's go back to that example and imagine that Deerfoot shuts down. If Deerfoot shuts down, we're in a state of gridlock and nothing's moving. Consider this to be the equivalent. This feeder main break put us into a gridlock where we can't get water to where it needs to go. So if you're having a tough time seeing what the issue is and why it affects us all, try to use that as your best example. Now, I'd like to close by reminding us all that there has been some good news along the way as well. Knowing that our Bowness neighbors were able to have their boil water advisory lifted on Monday was incredible news for all of those folks that did so much to go to the water wagons to get their water and look out for each other. They were water buddies throughout this whole situation. And since Friday, Alberta Health Services has assessed 12 samples of water in Bowness, and they've confirmed that water quality has been restored. They have also reminded us that when they do water testing in Calgary at regular times, they can tell us that we are where they want us to be or exceeding expectations. So we just need to return to that. That's going to take some more days of us pulling together. And as we head into Neighbor Day and Father's Day this weekend, just another reminder that our friends and local businesses in both Montgomery and Bowness have been through a lot in the past few days. So if you're looking for a gift for Dad or you're looking for some activities to do as a family, please head out on the weekend. Show the folks out there some love. Tell them you're supporting them, and maybe take Dad out and treat him. Thank you very much. I will see you at 2 p.m. with my colleagues, including Chief Sue Henry at the Emergency Operations Center today for another update, and I'll see all of you here again tomorrow morning at 8:30. Thank you for everything you've been doing.